Welcome to Rap in Order, the interrogation of a hip-hop album, where we take some of the culture's most beloved hip-hop albums, put them on the stand, see if they stood the test of time. Now let's see who we got on the stand today. Welcome to another episode of Rap in Order. I'm First Class Regg.
I'm Taurian B.
Today, I'm very excited because we're getting into an album that I played into the ground this past year. This guy has been around for the better part of over 10 years, and I feel like he's just kind of getting the recognition that he needed all this time.
Right.
But it's been like slow and steady, so it's really cool to see where he's at now and where he's going. I'm talking about Boldy James. He's from Detroit, Michigan. He's been out here for about... First time I heard Boldy was probably 2011, 2010, maybe 2009, I don't know. But it was on a Big Sean project. Finally Famous, I think, Volume 3 on a track called Fat Raps. He was on there with Asher Roth. And Boldy always stood out to me because he has this really monotone voice when he raps. Mm-hmm. And it can kind of throw you off when he's rapping because, like, you can kind of get... I know from the beginning, I was kind of... Like, he reminds me of some of the people that I was around back, like, growing up. Because when he speaks, it's very, like, super monotone and chill and just, like... You can kind of just, if you're not paying attention, you can miss a lot of what he's saying because he's so...
Yeah,
he's just so lax
100% agree with that.
Yeah, he's so lax and so chill, even with his flow, and I think when he speaks, if you watch some of his interviews. But he's in this pocket right now that's really dope with Alchemist. And over the past, during the pandemic and a little bit before, altogether, I want to say he released like 6 projects. So you had Bo Jackson that came a little bit later in 2021, in August, I think. And then you got the Versace tape that he let Jay Versace, who was like this internet phenomenon.
Right, he's a comedian.
Yeah, but like he got really serious about doing production on records all of a sudden, right? And he fucking bodied this project with him. But then you got The Price of Tea in China that showed you the range that he has with Alchemist because they worked before, like years before. And then you got Real Bad Boldy, Super Tecmo Bo, Mango and McNichols, which was available exclusively on Bandcamp at first before they moved it into streaming. So Boldy's like just been working, man. But everybody always comes back to Bo Jackson because the chemistry that him and Alchemist have on this project is incredible. What did you think of it?
All right, so like Regg said, Regg champions certain artists, and sometimes I'm like reluctant because like I feel like, you know, like Regg is trying to like force shit on me. And then what happens is we have this podcast where we have to listen to albums, and Regg will make a suggestion, and then I wind up thanking Regg and saying, "Yo, Regg, that was a really good project." So I listened to this project, and I was like blown away. I was like, "Yo, this is great!" Like I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and so what I did was I went and listened to other projects. So I listened to the Versace tape, and I listened to The Price of Tea in China again. So I listened to The Price of Tea in China before, right? But I did not enjoy that project. Like Regg said, he has a very monotone voice, and I think him and Alchemist were filling each other out. And then on this one, on Bo Jackson, I feel like Alchemist was like, yo, you got to get out of your comfort zone, and really shook things up. And I was just really like impressed. Like, and with the features on the project. Mm-hmm. The features on the project were impressive as well. So I just felt like, yo, like, okay, I get what Boldy's doing because I'm listening to it and I'm like, oh, like, he's a coke rapper. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like, he's kind of, you want to know what's funny? To me, like, it's kind of like the Jay-Z line where it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, like, I recall, y'all record. Mm-hmm. So, like, a lot of, like, what he's doing is, like, telling stories of, like, things that actually happened to him. Yeah. Like, there's even a song on here where, like, he recalls, like, you know, his man got like, the cops broke into his crib and shit like that. Illegal, yeah. So, I'm listening to it, and I'm just like, okay, like, a lot of, like, I could tell, like, a lot of the rappers that, like, influence him or, like, he listens to are rappers that I really thoroughly enjoy. Mm-hmm. So, the only thing that, like, I have the issue with is that, like, his voice at times and it's not his fault. Like, I mean, it's just how he talks,
Mhm.
and it's like, well, it gets. I don't want to use the word boring, but it gets kind of repetitive
Mhm.
with the way his voice sounds. But it makes it easier to understand every single word he says.
Yeah.
So the picture that's being painted, like if you're about lyrics and bars and shit like that, like you go back and then you can just really hear what he had to say, and
Yeah.
like that's what is probably the most impressive thing. And like I said, is just something that just helps. And what he does also, right? And this was something I was told like a very long time ago by one of my cousins who like works in the music industry. When you're an artist and like you can tell stories and people can go back to those stories, like it's actually like more endearing to you because it makes it like, oh, like he's real, like this ain't no bullshit, like you know what I'm saying.
It's always something to unpack with these stories, especially with somebody that has a voice like this, because you'll dip in and out and it won't capture your attention from the jump sometimes.
Also, sidebar, he has some of the best merch that like you can get in the music game, and I'm big. Like, I mean, you guys watch us, you guys know I'm huge on merch. I love tour tees and everything. Like, he blacks. I think that maybe I say Freddie Gibbs has pretty good tour merch.
Yeah.
He has excellent tour merch. Bronson has good tour merch. I'm trying to think of some other people. Erykah Badu has some tour merch that I have that's coming in the mail now. And then yes, obviously Cudi, and then obviously Kanye West. But like his tour merch is a whole nother different
that's
kind of like he's that nigga's in the Gap.
I think that all comes back to Alchemist though. Like all those artists that you name, like the really like great merch that they have is linked to Alchemist, and he has like ALC Records is like his tag for everything. So I think he has a hand in all the merch that gets made.
Yo, it's amazing, bro. Like I think it's dope. Oh, and Tyler Creator has pretty good merch as well.
Oh yeah, Tyler. We'll get into that, but yeah, I think with Boldy, a lot of what you said like rings true, and I think with the voice thing, I think that's another reason why him and Alchemist have such great chemistry, because Alk has this knack for like bringing this out of artists and kind of like putting their voice on the forefront, like kind of like the chemistry that he had with Prodigy, because Prodigy's voice was really monotone too. And then at the same time with that, like Prodigy would be saying some really chilling shit over it, and he kind of just it can kind of get glossed over if you're not really listening. And I think it's the same thing for Boldy. Like, not to compare them like on talent wise, but I think they have that.
I didn't get a chance because it's just obviously now I'm like enthused about it. When we did the tea in China, I really wasn't that enthusiastic about him, but now I'm like enthusiastic, and I think it's just like whatever he chose to do on this project really, really sold me, right? And on top of that, there's a quote that he has where he says, I let the beat tell me what to do. I got enough game and life experiences to fill in the blanks. And that's like some whole shit, because pretty much it's just like, some artists, like, they're just like, it's like that Lil Wayne clip, like, what's my motivation? What we talking about? What's the topic?
Right.
I need everything to be right. Like, where the girls at? Where the weed at? Like, nah, motherfucker, just get in there and fucking rap.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that for him, like, he has like all this experience, so like, he like, oh, this remind me of this. Like, oh, I could tell this story. Like, and it's just like,
this remind me of when whatever. Like Boldy, when I think of Boldy when he's rapping, he just remind me of one of those old school dudes that like you would sit on a porch with all day and just like get free game from.
Absolutely.
Like, and mind you, he's not even that old. Boldy, I think, is not even 40 yet. Maybe he's probably like 39.
Right.
But like he has like this real OG feel to him where like you could just sit on a porch with him and he'll just like give you advice on some OG shit without even looking at you, like cleaning his nails and shit.
He's very
like
he's very much he's very much outside, and you can tell that. And then also, you can tell like he doesn't, like, he just wants to do his thing. Like, he's a pretty, like, I don't know if it's shy, if he's like reclusive, but like he's not much for like the limelight. He does his thing, he does his shows and shit like that. Like, I do the covers and like I'm like looking for pictures of him and I'm like shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like his project don't have pictures of him on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he chooses things that like look like pieces of art, which I think is dope.
Yeah.
But like you could tell like he's not very much into that. Like, so I'm pretty sure that comes from his mentality of being in the streets where like kind of being a little bit mysterious and everything. So I think that's pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure it's pretty hard to get him in for a photo shoot or somebody, him just stand still and do that.
Definitely works in his favor. We can get into the project. The project kicks off with double hockey sticks, which the production on this is incredible. Like there's this second half flip in this song.
I want to talk about that. Yes.
Yeah, the second half flip in this song is immaculate. Like I think it kind of rings true to what you said about Boldy, where he just kind of hears the beat and like he knows what to do with it from there, or like figures out what to do from there, because he switches up his flow like a little bit on this.
I was very scared when I first heard it because I was like, damn, this another like the Price of Tea in China.
Yeah. And
then the beat switch came and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like, and I was at work like when the first time I listened to this, so like I'm at the desk and everybody, like one of my tenants walked past and was like, everything all right? I was like, yeah, sorry, I had an earpiece and they couldn't even tell. But yeah, I just like that that was dope. And then also I like the fact that like he used the Bold Nose campaign intertwined in the album.
Yeah.
So that was brilliant to me because at first when you look at the cover, you can't really tell, but then when you look at it, it's just chopped up like baseball cards. And I'm like, oh shit! The
vinyl for this project is beautiful.
I looked it up already. Yeah. I found one for $100. I bid on it on eBay.
Yeah, it's fucking.
I'm hoping that no bastard comes in and takes it away from me.
Hey, I hope you get that because that shit is immaculate. He has this line on here that I love, and he actually ends it off with it. He said, "My bitch scored and had a game changer. I made her transport to work in her Keisha Kior waist trainer.
Yes.
Say she gonna leave me, and I can't blame her because I was cutting up my side bitch raw with the same razor. Like that shit is just because every line, like with coke rappers, what's different about Boldy is that like I feel like even like with Pusha T or like with Gibbs, like they have different bars to fluff out the coke raps. They have different bars in between, but Boldy is like all coke rap, like all of it.
Nah,
like it's streamlined and it's just all that.
Right, and it's funny because I'm listening to this project, and then like I think you guys also know like Pusha T is like everything to me. So listening to this, I'm just like, oh, this is why Regg be like going against the God. This is why Regg be like trying to like, you know what I'm saying, like say Pusha ain't it, because you know for me like it's just like I kind of like just like put myself in a wormhole and like just told myself like nobody's touching Pusha, but like with Boldy, like the way he comes back to his metaphors and his raps, like he'll start it off like the first bar, right, and then like he'll rap out something else, and then on the next following bar, like you're like, oh shit, he connected it, and it's just like one of those things that's very, very, like very dope and intricate and like very intelligent. So I would like to see his like writing process, because I always think about that. Like, you know how some people like, oh, like writers don't write or like they don't set things up, but it's like you have to, because you got to think ahead what you're going to say and like how you're going to bring things back, right? As a rapper. So like this not even a free, like, you know, it's not freestyle. Like this is like very well thought out rapping.
Yeah.
So I think that was impressive too.
So that takes us into Turpentine. This instrumental is madness.
Yes, it is. It's
so chilling. Like a lot of Alks. I wonder if he just gave him a beat pack or if they actually just sat down and was like, yo.
Nah, I don't think he gave him a beat pack. I think like from what I am gathering, because of all the artists that like Alk produces for, I think he sits down and like has relationships with like each and every single one of them and is able to like craft something for them. Especially like if he knows them. I think that like him and Bronson make such good music together because they spend so much time together.
Yeah, and they're actually real friends.
Right, and then him and Gibbs as well, what they were able to do, right? So I think with Boldy, like he was able to sit down with him on that one project and like was like, yo, we gotta run it back because I got some ideas, I have thoughts, and I think that he was able to really, really get something out of him, and I hope that like Alchemist like gets like the flowers. I know that we say that, right? And like Alk is like a pretty much quiet person. I don't know what his voice sounds like. Like even when I watch Fuck That's Delicious, like I don't think he talked that much with Bronson. But I just think that like how well of a producer he is, and like even Havoc like gives him praise. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
in fact, how long Alk has been around.
Yeah.
He's had so many lives in hip hop. Like, he's lived so many different eras.
Right, like exactly. His best friend is I think he's like his relative or his best friend, but it's James Khan's son, Sean Khan. No, is it Sean Khan? No, not Sean Khan.
Yeah. Okay, I know who it's
Scott Khan. They had like a rap group together when they were younger.
Yeah, I just know him from Entourage.
He was in Entourage, and he was in Oceans 11, 12, and 13.
Ah, that's right. Okay.
And he was in Hawaii 5-0. Yeah. And his dad is James Khan, Sonny Corleone, R.I.P. So I think that's really dope.
Yeah, so that takes us into Brick Mile, Montana. Brick Mile, Montana features Benny, and I think this is like a match made in heaven.
The butcher coming, nigga.
This is such a great collab, and they both play around with their flows on this.
Yeah, I think that this was like a match made in heaven, and this is one of those collaborations where like I think that Benny knew he had to like bring it. Like Benny always brings his A game, but Benny knew he had to like really step it up if he was going to give a verse on this project.
Yeah.
And then especially because like wasn't this the project, like right after this project is when he signed to deal with Griselda?
I believe so.
So I think that like Benny, like it was kind of just like all right, new motherfucker, like let's see what's up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like testing each other out, like going back and forth in the booth.
Yeah, you're right. This was amazing. And then it leads into EPMD. I like how he used the play on that. Everybody plotting my demise is how he used it.
Yeah.
How he broke it down. Big on Paranoia. The beat obviously is amazing. He goes off on this for about, I don't know, like under 4 minutes, but it's great. What you think?
Yeah, like I said, this is like in reference back to the y'all record, I recall. And I really think that he could probably do this. He could probably just record projects in his sleep because it's not hard for him to like be inspired because he has so much experience of things just happening outside.
Just so many stories. Like just, I wonder how long he can go with this approach because it's like, when do you hit a wall?
Well, think about it like this, right? Like he don't even have to tell his own stories. He could tell other stories because it's just like, waiting for like you and Rob to come today. Like I went outside and walked JR, and like I heard like 3 stories about like one was about this kid that we grew up that got robbed. Another one was about this dude who like is beefing with another dude because they sleeping with the same girl, but like it's they're like in the same like faction, but it's the girl is fucking shit up. She's basically fucking up the money. Then I heard like another situation about this dude like that we've known that was always broke and he's coming up now. These are 3 different stories, ladies and gentlemen. And if I was a rapper, I would be fucking killing it.
Those are great. You should actually write those. That's fire. That's like 3 episodes of something.
Well, the next one is Still War, right?
Yeah, Still War is the next one. And, man, what a chorus. What a beat. I think the chorus, what stood out, he said, "These niggas ain't cut from my cloth because I'm still wool." Like, what?
That's a bar, and that's the chorus, right?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, Alchemist got something out of this man where, like, I wish that, like, obviously it's cool when rappers work with other producers, but I wish that it would go back to that when rappers just work with one producer.
I think we're getting back to that. You know what's funny? I don't know who I was talking to about that. I feel like that was a conversation recently. I think Hove made that re-emerge because when 444 came out, he only worked with No ID. I think after that, if you look at the pattern, a lot of people got in that bag. I don't know if it was intentional or if it was just a matter.
Then Kanye did that with those 7 albums.
Yeah.
Some of it was great, some of it was terrible.
Yeah.
But,
So I think after that happened, we kind of saw that happen, and majority shit was with Alchemist.
Yeah. Alchemist, Madlib. You don't forget Madlib on what the great work that he did with
Bandana and everything.
And
so
Freddie.
We're kind of getting back into that fold.
It's a lot easier. It's less chaos. Like there's deadlines that have to be met, and like it just works out better that way.
Yeah. The last project that I remember getting everybody on board, despite the fact that they used multiple producers, was probably Good Kid, Mad City. Like he had everybody on there, but it was a seamless story.
Right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that's. I love that and I appreciate that from
Mhm.
artists when they do that because at me as a listener, it helps me get through the project
Yeah.
in a more cohesive way. Sometimes when artists like they just put a bunch of beats together and shit like that and like there's no cohesive project or maybe it only like they only they understand it because they recorded it. I think that's selfish and I think that's really fucked up and I hate that.
And I think it kind of builds off of it's kind of a hype train at the end of the day because they're like, oh, I work with the Neptunes. I work with No ID. I worked with Metro, and they're all on this project. So it's like these are all supposed to get people excited.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited from just hearing a seamless fucking project like this.
Man. I
y'all
agree.
are all on the same page. You know what the goal is, and chances are y'all were in the same room. It's only two of y'all.
Right. Like, I would love a project where a group of rappers just rap out their favorite cereals. Like each track is named after their favorite cereal.
I mean, yeah, we're not far from that, honestly. I feel like that could happen.
I know that sounds stupid.
Who do you think would
do it? Kendrick.
Nah, Kendrick won't do it.
He would do it, bro.
He's too far removed from just having fun with rap.
Okay. Lil B.
Where is Lil B? If you could find that nigga, maybe.
Right, he wasn't even at none of the games for the Warriors this year.
Yeah, don't put no curse on me. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
don't
put
no curse on me.
Shout out to Bass God. I really gotta think about that. As far as like rap, like artists that would like rap about their favorite cereals. Well, you wanna know what will be funny? I know like this, like people might be surprised. I guarantee you, Ghostface Killah would have a track on.
Oh yeah, Ghostface would do it.
Yeah, rap about like his favorite cereal and
maybe
just
Doja Cat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Doja Cat would do
even
it.
Though she's getting herself up out of here.
Yeah. Funny enough, Doja Cat. Speaking of Doja, she has a project with Alchemist that she was working on.
I can't wait.
He tweeted it. I don't think he was supposed to. He deleted it. He was like, "Yo, wait till y'all hear what we have or whatever," because he was just answering people's questions. And he name checked her as being one of the best rappers right now. And he was like, "Yo, wait till y'all hear."
We're gonna get it.
Then I went and I looked and it wasn't there, and I was like, "All right, he probably wasn't supposed to say that."
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, moving right along. Photographic Memories features Earl Sweatshirt and your boy
Rock Marciano, Rock Marcy.
King of the Oven Mitt. No, we run this shit. Is a lead off line, which is dope. Song puts you in a daze, like, and I haven't heard Earl sound like this in a really long time.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I say that Earl Sweatshirt has like ADHD rap, whereas like he just kind of rambles off, like he like goes off into a gaze, but I think like everyone know it was uniform. Like you coming in here and like it's a set thing that we talking about when we doing this.
Yeah.
So I think it was a lot easier, and like obviously Rock Marciano like is Rock Marciano, like he's that boy.
And it's something about these guys that have these really monotone voices that I don't know, man. Alchemist was really drawn to these type of people.
Yeah, I mean Prodigy kind of set things off for him. Yeah, I think like he just run around with that.
Yeah, because his production really sets the tone for their voices. So and it puts more emphasis on his production too.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds great. So Photographic Memories is followed up by Speed Trap. Speed Trap, I feel like it's kind of just the fluff that leads into Diamond Dallas.
Right. So I have a thing. So with Speed Trap, obviously, like if you're a driver, you know that's what that about. What that is about is like on the highway when you're driving, there are police that are stationed in a certain area, and they know that people tend to speed there because cops are usually not there, or it's just like a straight lane where you can like go up to like 90, 100 if you're a speed guy. So him using that and then like it being like the metaphor of like getting caught up, I thought was really dope. So I know it's like it does feel like a transition song, but like I'm really impressed by this nigga.
Yeah, like
it's just I just the way his brain works, and I love it. Like I really appreciate what he has going.
Super intentional, man. Even all the placements of these tracks is crazy. Diamond Dallas follows it up with Stove God Cooks, another really good coke rapper.
Yo, we got cheated.
What do you mean?
He only fucking did the hook.
Yeah. But the hook is amazing.
It is. It's great. But it's like, yo, the fuck?
Gold. I think Stove God is great, and he knows melody really well. And I read somewhere that Tyler wants him to sing. He wants him to sing more. I think he wants to do like a collab project in some way, shape, form with him. Which I think will be fucking amazing.
Yes.
I think Tyler's just getting in his bag right now as a producer. He wants to be respected more in that aspect. It's only going to take about a year or so for that to happen.
Absolutely.
If you really just focus on that shit.
Right.
But yeah, Diamond Dallas is another standout on here. And I think Stove God could really be dope with melody. And his next project is going to be the one for him. Because Reasonable Drought was incredible. And people still talk about it.
Right.
Flight Risk. What you think?
Yo, trying to get drugs on a plane post 9/11 is insane. I listened to this song the most of all of them because I was like, I'm trying to understand the story that he's telling.
Yeah.
Who the fuck does that?
Yeah. I really enjoyed
Joel Santana, ladies and gentlemen. He tried to take a gun
true.
on the plane, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Boldy's one of those artists that when he raps, I like to read it as he's rapping. So like on Apple Music, obviously it has the feature of you being able to just read. So like I'll literally, if I'm not doing anything and I'm just close for time, I'll put my phone there and I'll just read what he's saying as I'm listening, and it's like an amazing experience. It does like wonders for his storytelling ability too. So I would encourage anybody to like really listen to it that way.
Okay.
Because this shit is madness, like you said. What a fucking thought.
It sounds like a fucking movie. Like
yeah,
like he each song could be like a short story movie or something like that. Like where just chaos is going on.
And then I think that takes us into my favorite track on this album, which is Illegal Search and Seizure.
Right.
Speaking of movie, it has like it's like the fucking instrumental is like crying because it's like this disloyalty that Boldy experienced. Like he's talking about his mans that like, you know, switch sides and like kind of told and
kinda.
Well, not kinda. Told, you know, that nigga sang, you know. And it's just incredible. Like the out production is great for the backdrop of this story. It's incredible. Like this is like some shit that would have been like in fucking Scarface or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope that he gets into like screenwriting soon if he's not already. Really impressive, and I was really kind of like I said, like pleasantly surprised. And like it's not that like on the T in China like he was rapping about like other shit. It's just that like there was no enthusiasm. Like it didn't seem like he was happy to be there. Like, and I'm not saying like happy like Busta Rhymes yelling, but like you could tell like he definitely like went into this project with like direction, and like he had a mission. Like he had something that he wanted to like put forward, and I really think that he got that done.
I think so too. And this is followed up by Fake Flowers, which features Currency and Gibbs. I love how Currency is wedged in between these two big coke rappers, and he doesn't like. He just sticks to what he knows. You know, he sticks to his weed raps, and he's just kind of in the middle. But also in that same vein, I think this song was supposed to be on Fetty.
Okay.
Currency and Gibbs' project.
Right.
Yeah. I think this is where that was from, but they kind of just held on to it. But either way, like it's a great fucking song. And it's refreshing to hear Gibbs on this.
Also, like, Bo is holding his own with like some of the best lyricists, period. Like these are lyrical miracle motherfuckers that he's holding his own with and like doing this thing. And, you know, coming into it kind of like Green only having like a small mental library of his raps, and then hearing him hold his own with other rappers, it's impressive. And it kind of makes you like respect him even more because it's just like, yo, like these dudes are like giants in rap, and he's doing this thing. So I think that's also impressive.
I like that Gibbs is kind of the one that brought some type of humor to this project. And he said lines like Michael Jackson ain't dead, he live in my guest house. I thought that was funny because they're both from Indiana. What's up?
There's a part, okay, I forgot the bar that leads into it, but it's like something about kids, and then Gibbs comes in like, fuck them kids.
Yeah, that's how he starts his shit.
Yeah.
He comes in and says, fuck them kids. So Gibbs is good for that. Like he brought some type of humor to it, kind of lighten the mood. But then we get into third person. This beat is fucking epic. Yeah,
it's epic. The guitar riffs are fucking dope. Like I listened to this one and I was just like, yo, I'm definitely using this instrumental for like one of the promos.
Yeah, it's like an end credit roll. It's like an end scene to the song. I mean to the album, even though there's 2 other tracks to officially end the album. But I guess maybe this song actually should have ended this album. when I look at it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But it's incredible. Storytelling is phenomenal. First 48 freestyle follows it up.
First 48 freestyle, right? I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like this nigga's nice. Like he's a good rapper, guys. He can rap and he can paint pictures like no other. And I don't know if you watch the TV show First 48.
I used to, yeah. I used to be hooked on that fucking show.
It's just something where I'm like, okay, like this guy, like I like to know that my rappers like watch television or like read and like they use those references into their lyrics or into their words, like somehow, some way, like because it makes me feel like they're human like me.
Yeah, especially if it's some shit that I watch too. I love that. So First 48 is followed by The Closer, which is Drug Zone, and was, oddly enough, the first single from this project.
Right. The Closer I thought was dope. I mean, obviously it's the closer of the project, right? And I was just like, all right, damn, he fucked up with the placement of this shit. I get it. It's called The Closer, so why would this not be the last track? But it's not the track. It's not how the album should have ended.
Yeah. No, I get that. I don't know. I think overall, you know, Drug Zone is in the pocket of being the proper closer for this project. But I think after hearing Third Person, it kind of swayed me. I think that should have been the one that closed it off. But this project, I will say, even though it's very niche in the sense that it's coke rap,
it's my favorite genre.
This is different though, because it's different stories, so it keeps you engaged.
Yeah.
You know,
right. He's not telling only his story. He's telling like from perspectives. And for me, like I'm a huge fan of like action flicks, gangster flicks, mob movies. So for me, hearing this in rap form is just dope because I'm able to listen to it and paint the picture in my mind of how I want things to look. And it's absolutely like great.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it. So like that's like what really draws me in, and that's probably like why like I like Pusha T so much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I like my action movies. I like shit to be blown up. I like shit exaggerated.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah, exactly. Fast and Furious franchise. Come on, like you don't get no better than that, guys. Like I like that shit. You know, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Steven fucking Seagal, even. You know what I'm saying? I want to see some shit that I know these motherfuckers ain't really doing.
I get that, and I get that. But with Boldy, I feel like he's really doing it.
Oh, absolutely. He's recalling the stories, but I'm just saying, like, you know, some of these shits are like based off of certain stories and shit, but it's dope.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we're at the closer of this album. I can easily give this a 4.5 out of 5. I think it's a very unique project in the sense that it's weaved together very well. Alchemist and Boldy really only capitalized off the strengths that they have as like being a tandem. I would love to see what they do next. I think they only getting better from here together. I think Boldy really draws you in with his voice and his stories, and I think Alchemist really plays into that with his production.
I give it a 4.5 as well. Like I said, I was really impressed with this project, from the lyrics to his style of storytelling, to the production, of course, to the features, to me going back, seeing like what the rollout was like, seeing what the album cover looks like, making sure that like it connects like what he named the project with. Like it wasn't too like far, like it wasn't too over my head, like where I could like catch on and get it and then like understand like what he's doing. So like all of that, like it just worked out. My only issue is just that like the placement of some of the songs kind of take away from it being like a perfect project. But I'm pretty sure like down the line, I'll probably be able to like maybe appreciate it even more than I already do right now.
Yeah.
And yes, like I just think that this is obviously his best like work, like his best effort.
Yeah, I think so too. And but that's not to downplay his other shit. I think this is the one though. This is the one for him.
This is the one
people are gonna reference. Up until this point of like really, really re-listening to this project, I think my favorite one from him was Versace Tape. I love Versace Tape. But when I listen to this more and more, I'm like, fuck, man. Like, the way this shit is put together is special. So, like, Versace Tape is still up there, but I think this kind of just overtook it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ryan. Ryan is going to be very happy to hear that because we talk about this all the fucking time. He's always like, yo, nah, Bo Jackson is the one, bro. Bo Jackson's the one.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson is the one. I can attest.
Ryan is going to be very happy to know
Yeah,
that I've listened to this, and he's going to be very happy to know that like I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah. So we've reached the closing. I am very much telling you guys to go listen to this project. And if you don't listen to his whole discography, which is still growing, at least check out Bo Jackson. It's incredible. I'm First Class Regg.
I'm Taurian B.
We out of here, y'all.
Catch you next time.
Peace.
These are their stories.
Dun dun.